November 25th, 1948. The first ever broadcast on King Television was a high school football game between West Seattle and Wenatchee. 75 years later, high school football is still king. But along that 75-year timeline, the station broadcasted numerous locally produced sporting events, from something as simple as an in-studio boxing match in the 1950s to a 6-hour broadcast of the Hydros 30 years later. And along the way, there were colorful personalities to help bring those events to your living rooms, like King TV's first voice in sports.
Legendary Bill O'Meara of Channel 5 reports.
Whoa! He went completely around. I don't know whether Lou is still in the boat or not.
Over the years, the arrival of pro franchises helped Seattle evolve into a bona fide sports town.
Wilson, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the initial voyage.
When the Mariners arrived in 1977, King TV partnered with the team to broadcast games during the M's first years in the majors. King also had broadcast partnerships with the Sonics and Seahawks.
It's the Mike Holmgren Show. Well, wait a minute, don't.
You took my line. You took my line.
Airing the Mike Holmgren Show and the Pete Carroll Show, which gave fans an exclusive look at the Hawks during prime time on Sunday nights. When the Sounders came to town in 2009, King produced a weekly show with the team, starring Seattle soccer legend Alan Hinton.
We didn't have to rehearse, we just talked. And it was always fun, and we sang a little bit. We won some games, but it was a lot of fun, and people still talk about it.
The excitement of pro sports ushered in a new era of sportscasters at King 5, led by Don Poyer. When Tony Ventrella took over in 1982, he spent the next decade redefining the role of sports director at King TV.
Anthony Ventrella's distinguished series, Wrestling Hold of the Week.
I was doing Wrestling Hold of the Week at that point because, frankly, I thought it was complete nonsense. It was totally fake, but it was different. We had a great balance. Lou actually was a good reporter.
Lou Gellos covered some of the biggest names in Seattle sports in the 80s, including Brian Bosworth, who once sued the NFL for the right to wear his college number 44 in the pros. Lou wanted to work with King 5 photographer and talented sketch artist Bob Allen.
Bob goes, "What do you want me here? The cameras are loud in this." I said, "I know, but you don't need to shoot a frame. Let's draw it." I basically wrote a script that then he drew to. And the kicker was, my stand-up at the end was a drawing of me holding the microphone. And so when it came back to them after I signed off, they're going like this on the anchor desk. And I knew that one worked, so that was pretty fun.
Look, we've got a guest there. Hey, Jay, you want to come back?
In 1996, Akemi Takei became one of the first female sportscasters at King TV.
It was such a time when there weren't that many women in sportscasting, and so I feel like in that office there at 333 Dexter Avenue North, it was such a great kind of family, and it was such a fun time with you and Guard, and you guys always treated me like I meant that I should be there, and so I felt like that was a really welcoming feeling, and that I don't think it ever stood out to me that I shouldn't be there.
In Peoria, Arizona, Akemi Takei, King 5 Sports.
Since our 70th anniversary, there have been new milestones. First came COVID. While sports departments across the country curtailed their coverage, we added to ours. Yes! One way to lighten the pandemic was to see what you were doing. Backyard Sports was a summer hit. During that time, the Storm won their 4th WNBA title in the Wubble. We said goodbye to Sue Bird. The Mariners made the playoffs for the first time in 2 decades, causing a baseball frenzy in the Northwest. The Kraken became the newest NHL expansion team, creating newfound hockey fans during their first playoff run. And the Seahawks returned home to King 5, adding new shows like Seahawks Central to the long-running 5th quarter. Through all of King's professional personalities, it's the amateur stars who have really shined. We continue to feature the best of our local student athletes and coaches in our weekly Prep Zone features. We take a lot of pride in our high school coverage. It not only promotes positivity among students and staff, it gives us a chance to visit area communities. And while we enjoy being the visiting team week after week, in the big picture, we're all on the home team.
Back to you, buddy!